So I was baking pita bread, and the oven has to be 425 degrees for that. And I fell over on the open door of the oven and burnt my thigh.
So in Kyoko's case, she had a 3rd-degree burn. A 3rd-degree burn covering any portion of your body is a serious burn. And she's a very active lady, and this was a big injury on her leg, and so that was distressing to her because she was immediately worried about how she was going to be able to get back to her normal quality of life.
The scar is like from above my knee to just the front of my leg.
So before the technology of laser scar revision was available, the options we had to offer patients for burn scars were really quite limited. What we do with a laser for burn scars is to actually cause tiny injuries on purpose that the body is able to repair. And in the process of repairing those tiny injuries, the skin changes from a fibrotic, dense, painful, inflexible scar back to the quality of normal skin.
It was totally pain-free. At no point did I feel anything I would classify as pain.
And so while a scar will never be 100% normal again after laser, it can behave much more like uninjured skin and feel a lot better. Scars will often look better, but more importantly, we can do the things that really improve people's quality of life. So if they're kept up at night with itching, that can get better with laser. If they have a very painful scar with pins and needles, that improves with laser. Scars that traverse a joint, a knee, an elbow, or fingers, that scar can get looser and more flexible, and so over time we can see people be able to move their joints better with laser.
So the burn scar is not as thick, it's not raised in the same way, it is not quite as red, and it's softer, and it doesn't itch or hurt. That's definitely not just because time passed, but the laser minimized that.
And so we have people who've been living with limitations of their scar and symptoms of their scar for 10, 20, 30 years. We can bring them in and start a program of laser scar revision for them, and they can finally feel relief from their symptoms and their limitations and range of motion from their scar.